All right. Make sure I'm good here. Right to welcome everyone back again. This is a presentation of consciousness ascending. This is episode 45, we believe, of Accelerating Your Journey. My name is Benny Ferguson. I channel the non-physical collective known as Abraham, and we are excited to be here. We're excited to share with you, to be a global support to humanity in accelerating the process of growth and expansion, accelerating this process that is your journey of enlightenment. And yes, you can accelerate the process. There are some things that are necessary, just a few things that are necessary to accelerate that process, which have we have found to be the greatest challenge for most on this journey. And it's not a technique, it's not a process, it's consistency. It's consistency. It's discipline. It's the ability to stay focused on who you are being and where you intend to go, who you intend to be, versus your attention being on the external, which is an effect and not a cause. That is the biggest challenge. If you have realized that this is your challenge, that consistency is your challenge, that the external grabbing and holding your attention is your biggest challenge, then these opportunities that we are sharing with you, that we are offering, are opportunities to continue to build the muscle of where you place your attention, your focus. We have other opportunities in which you're able to continue to grow that muscle. Our free discussions, our conscious discussions, which you will can find the link to in the description, or another way, another free way that you can engage with us to address this humanity challenge and to dig deeper and to gain even more clarity and in greater impact. We have private sessions, and we also offer the modern day monastery, the Ascension Accelerator, where we support individuals to create that high level of consistency with consistent contact, consistent support, a community of individuals on the same path through which you're able to learn and grow through their experience as well. This is one of the highest, our highest offering, and one of the highest offerings that you can receive from anyone who is willing to support and guide you, capable of supporting and guiding you on this path, because it's not anything that any one guide or person can offer. It's not a technique, it's not a process, it's not a program, a training program. It's your ability to be consistent at following your inner guidance and having support to help you and guide you along the way as you create unto yourself. As you create unto yourself. That's what you need to know. That's what you have to understand. So let's see what we have for today. Today's topic is the markings of manifestation. There is always evidence of your intention on approach. The markings of manifestation, there is always evidence of your intentions on approach. Ladies and gentlemen, you are creating, period. Whether you're new to this information, you're inspired to be here and you don't even know why, or you are old to this information, have been on this path for many, many years, aware of this path for many, many years. You are creating. That is a truth that holds true for everyone. It has always been true for everyone on your plane of existence. You are creating unto yourself that which is internal to you, your dominant ideas, your beliefs are that which are materializing in front of you. And there's no way around it. It doesn't matter how you are interpreting your religious text, your spiritual text, That's the truth. And ultimately, you will know this, whether in this lifetime or the next. At some point, you will realize this, and at some point, you will begin to turn inward for your understanding. You will turn your attention inward for the conflict between the life that you are experiencing and the life that you desire. You will turn inward at some point. You will begin to be aware of the conditioning that has occurred within you. You will begin to be aware that you are living a very similar life to those that you grew up around, you called adults, because their ideas were sown into you as a child before you were conscious of the fact that you can and should protect the information that enters into your being, i.e., your mind, through your senses. Because if it's not that which you would like to experience, then you must turn your attention elsewhere. But again, we've said this before. It's not about us giving you information. It's not about believing in anything outside of yourself. Our suggestion is to prove it to yourself. Even if you don't believe, even if you don't believe us, there's no harm in exploring the possibility that you are creating, that you are creating your experience, that your life is a reflection of your internal makeup. There's no harm in playing with it, right? If you just flat out disbelieve and you just flat out refuse the information, refuse to engage in the information and deny it when someone is offering something completely out of love, the challenge is not with us. And you're not in your inability to even explore the possibility of the magnificent empowerment that that would mean for you, challenges within you. Our suggestion is for you to prove it or attempt to disprove it to yourself. Because no experience just happens because of the nature of your plane of existence, because of the nature of the separation in density of that which you think and that which you intend, which is of high vibration, very, what's the word? Lighter density, and that which you experience, i.e., the body, i.e., the chair, i.e., the car, i.e., the wall, which is lower density frequency, lower density energy, right? The particles that make up these forms, the protons, the neutrons, the electrons, are of greater density than the waves of energy out of from which they come. And we're just talking about the particles. We're not talking about the atoms. We're not talking about the molecules that congeal, that come together to make up a form, to make up a single grain of sand, to make up your body and all of the other physical forms that you can perceive with your physical senses. These are low density energies, particles that have come together to create these forms when higher frequencies, less dense energies exist. Your sound waves are less dense energies. You can't see them. You can't see them, but you know they exist. And there are lighter density energies, frequencies than that make these up, out of which they come. So that's the first understanding, that there is a distance between the high frequencies of your thought pattern and the low density of the physical forms that result from those thought patterns, not to mention the overall experience with the people and the things that all come together with perfect timing to create an experience. Beautiful experience, not so great experience. They're all come through the same process. So, what you want to do is you want to take an experience and then you want to backtrack from that experience and begin to explore within your mind that which is within you that might connect you to that experience. Expressions that you may have made, conversations that you may have had, high emotion conversations that you may have had with yourself or others that potentially aligns you with that experience. Do you walk throughout the day fearing broken relationship, fearing getting taken advantage of by another being who is human? Those type thoughts. Do you walk through your daily life? Have you noticed yourself excited about travel, excited about exploring new lands? Take account of these offerings, these energetic offerings, these thought offerings, and then you notice experiences that appear in front of you, that materialize in front of you, that are related to those offerings. We didn't turn that off. But you notice materializations in your experience that are related to those offerings. Now, what you will say is, nah, that was a few days ago I thought that, or that was a few weeks ago that I thought about that. There's no way that they are connected. We understand that. We understand your disbelief still, but it's because you haven't been consistent at keeping track of your thought patterns. We understand that it's because you have not been consistent yet at keeping track of your conversations. And maybe it's easier just to take note of the conversations that are appearing around you, maybe through close friends or or family members. Not in a judgment per se, but just in an awareness. Because you're playing with this, right? You're trying to prove it to yourself, or you're trying to disprove the idea that you are creating. Look around at those who are closest to you, and notice that friend who was released from their job or position, and they're frustrated about it, they're angry about it, but you know that they have had the conversation with you about how disappointed they were with their job, how displeased they were, and how they were thinking about finding something else. Is that not alignment with separating from the job or position? You have a friend or family member, and you know you've had conversations with that person, and they have shared their excitement for a movie that has come out. They have shared their excitement about something they are passionate about. And then a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks passed, and they were invited to that thing, or they were invited to a program or a gathering that was related to that thing. And once you notice it the first time, once you become aware of it the first time, in your experience or the experience of those around you, keep watching, keep noticing, and keep stacking the proof. Keep stacking the proof until you have the thought within yourself that this is no longer coincidence. It can't be. I've seen it too much in my experience. I've seen it too much in the experience of the people around me that I know they were talking about that thing, whether it was excitement or frustration, and it happened, or something very similar to it and related to it happened. Because if they're talking to you about it, as often as they're talking to you about it, that means that they are thinking about it and feeling about it internally even more than that. There's a multiple of the relationship, there's a multiple of the amount of times that they have had the conversation internally to the to the times that they have had the conversation with you externally. And the same is with you. If you are physically having a conversation with someone, whether it's friend, family, or stranger about a thing that you were excited about or that you disapprove of. You have had that conversation within yourself a multiple of times more, and you're doing everything right from a creative standpoint. You are thinking the thoughts, you are feeling the feelings, and in those moments, you are aligned with that experience. But the experience, again, doesn't just show up. Because you are in alignment, experiences are beginning to appear in front of you that are related to that thing. When you realize that you are creating, you begin to be aware of your intention on approach. And now we're talking about that which you desire, those intentions that you are desiring, that excellent family gathering that you are intending, that excellent experience on vacation that you are intending, the new residence that you are intending, the new vehicle that you are intending, and you know you are in alignment with, you begin to see evidence of it on approach. You begin to see the car everywhere, that exact model, the exact make and model. You begin to see the type of residence or get information on the type of residence that you have narrowed your focus down to. The evidence of your intention begins to show up. And this happens and is happening whether you realize it or not. It always has been happening. Your awareness has just been not on this idea because it has not been presented to you. And if it has been presented to you, it's possible that you were refusing it. But now because you are attempting to prove it to yourself or disprove it, you begin to see it because of where you are placing your attention and your focus. You're looking for the evidence and experience as to how it relates to your inner expressions. But you are creating, and the evidence, the markings of manifestation are constantly presenting themselves. You know, the idea of creation is not that far fetched. It's not. It's not that far fetched because you can consider, if you would consider the precision of your universe. And this is where your attention and your focus comes in again. Consider the precision of your universe. You can launch a spaceship into outer space, and with pinpoint accuracy, they can calculate where it's going to land by knowing the speed and the trajectory and all of those things. They can calculate where it's going to land with almost pinpoint precision. You have already calculated the speed of light, the distance between your planet and the nearest star and your sun, and all of these things. You have calculated these things with pinpoint accuracy and precision. By never even going there, by never even being there, you've been able to calculate that. So, from a human standpoint, and the precision in which you are able to calculate these types of ideas that we have offered as examples, if you can calculate and be that precise, how much more precise is the universe at large that you are inside of? Think about it. How much more precise is the universe at large that you exist within and everything that you know exists within? How much more precise is it? So, when you think about that, how is there a place where in your self-help idea you're told to focus and to discipline, be disciplined and to focus and be clear and do all of these things to accomplish your goals, but there's a place where your effort stops and it becomes just a random possibility. Think about it. Internally, you have the belief, especially if you are engaged in any particular religion where you believe in that there's a power outside of you. Internally, unconsciously, as much as you would like to be successful, there's a point where you believe that even though the precision of the universe, the precision is right there in front of you, that has to be greater than the precision that humanity can calculate. You believe that there is a space, there is a place, an invisible place where your effort, where the results of your effort stops and the random possibility of the universe begins. Or that thing outside of you that has power over you, there's an invisible place where it begins to engage and say, no, you can't have that. Or yes, you can have that. No, you can't be that successful. No, you can't be successful in that area. Yes, you can be successful in business, but your relationships are terrible. Something outside of you is able to say yes or no beyond your efforts. And we ask, how does that go with the precision in which humanity has learned and been able to calculate a thing inside of the even greater precision of the universe in which humanity exists? How is that invisible line possible? When you begin to ask these type questions, a lot of your current understanding begins to fall away. And many refuse it still because they have been conditioned so strongly to believe in a certain way that even when the truth is presented to them or the truth is revealed to them through experience, they're still able to refuse it. Even when someone is saying, prove it to yourself, don't believe us, they still are capable of refusing. Even when it has nothing to do, there's no benefit to the messenger. The benefit is the empowerment of the receiver. They still find a way to refuse it. The conditioning refuses it. You are creating. You are creating. You are a creator. You are a pure piece and part of source energy of God. Whatever you want to say, whatever you want to call it, you are that and it is you. There is no separation. The separation that appears to be that you perceive through your physical senses is not the truth. The truth is that all things in energy are connected. All things in energy are you, and you are it. That's the truth. And when you begin to look at all things, your experiences from that space, it causes you to ask the question, okay, well, where is my true power in this, on this plane of existence? Which is the question that Benny asked many years ago when he had his out of body experience while he was awake. He asked the question, okay, well, if this is not true, because I have experienced something that showed that there's more going on than I perceive with my physical senses, I don't really care about all of the spiritual possibilities and all of the different species of extraterrestrials and all of the other potentials. I want to know What control and power do I have in and over my life? That's the question that he asked and that he has continued to hold. And that's the question that has brought him to this point to be able to, with others who are desiring to be of support, to support humanity through his experience and through the knowledge that is able to be offered through him as a vessel. A single question, a single powerful question that would be of benefit to each of you to ask yourself. What control and power do you have in and over your life? Where does that power exist? How do you engage it fully? And what does that mean? It means that you will find the peace that you have been seeking. It will mean that you will find the love that you have been seeking. It will mean that you will find the security that you have been seeking, that you have been absent of potentially. It means that you will find your true, authentic self. It means that you will find the truth of you that exists without fear. All of these are answers to the question. All of these are things that you will find as the question is being answered. And that's what we desire for each of you is for you to find that space, to know that space, and to begin to live from that space now, not understanding it, knowing it, remembering it after you make your transition from your physical body, but remembering it now as you walk physically. That's our desire for each of you. And it is our passion, our greatest desire to be that level of support for each of you, for those of you who are ready. So we'll take a moment here and we will offer a some time to entertain questions, comments, thoughts through the chat mechanism. And yeah, we're thankful for each of you who have participated. We're thankful for each of you who have found this recording, and we hope that you can join us at some point live. If you have questions or comments, please put them in the chat. We'll take a few moments to entertain those. Awesome. Awesome, Catherine. Catherine says, I've asked many of those questions and have decided to go very, very neutral and see what arrives. That's excellent. That's excellent. That neutral space, that space that we have said is that meditative space where the lake at midnight is still with no movement. That neutral space is where those truths, those ideas are able to make their way to you freely, where there's no resistance active and there's no high desire active either, because both of those are resistive states. When you really, really, really want an answer, or you really, really, really want a thing, you're actually offering the fact that you don't have it, right? And that is a blind spot, and most don't know that. So being in that neutral space, also being angry and frustrated about a thing and asking from that energy is also holding the answer at arm's distance, also, because the answer to your question is going to be of a high frequency. And if you're asking the question in a low frequency, well, then you're in the wrong energy to receive the actual answer that you're desiring. When Benny had the experience of the spontaneous out of body experience while he was standing up awake, after a couple of weeks had passed of just what happened and why, when he asked the question of, okay, this is not the truth because I have seen otherwise, what control and power do I have over my life in and over my life then? When he asked that question, he asked it from a neutral state. He asked that question from a state of, I don't really know what's going on. I don't know the truth. Nothing that I have learned and taught, or been a part of answers what happened to me. But I know what happened to me. I had the experience. And so I don't really know what I'm supposed to do now. And so asking that question was from that neutral place. And after asking the question, still being in that space, guess what? You just open. That's why many of the spiritual texts say, or at least for sure, the Bible text that talks about being a child, returning to that child mentality. That child mentality is that I don't know. I'm excited to learn. That's an excellent space. That's an excellent state of being. Because if you feel like you know the answers already, then you're shutting off anything else. But that I don't know, I'm excited to learn. Now you're open. You're open to the receiving, and you're excited to receive. You're not resisting it at all. And for you, Catherine, the higher stage that you were in is that I am the answer. And that's a little bit different when you know that you are the answer. I'm asking the question, but I know that I'm already the answer, right? For all information, all things, all experiences are existing right now in this present moment. So the answer that I need exists right now in this present moment. That's a little bit stronger. That has a little bit more power to it, a little bit more force to it, a little bit more centeredness, anchoredness in the truth of you because you know that you are source energy. It's a little bit stronger when you ask that question and you know that the answer exists. You're not guessing, you're not hoping, you know that the answer exists. And when you state it like that, you speed it up. You speed up the process because you're not guessing, you're not hoping, you're not wishing. You're expecting the answer to present itself with perfect timing. And that's a little bit different. You're in a little bit different space, Catherine, than the person who is just starting this process. Thank you for the comment. Anyone else? Awesome. 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 Again, we are thankful for each of you who have participated in this interaction with your energy, with your attention. We're thankful for those of you who have found this recording, who have been guided to this recording, guided to us. We're just thankful to be able to be of support. We're deciding now how frequent we're going to be with this offering this week. We're here 3 times. We may go 5. We're just excited to be of support. We're excited to engage. We're excited to be a resource to offer and to hopefully at some point be able to go deeper with those of you who are ready to be more consistent on this process. Consistency is key. We have to say that again. Consistency is key. And that speeds up the process. It Your life experience was never meant for you to be to spend a lifetime in low vibration, even though it has always been a potential and possibility. But for those of you who are on this path, who are here entertaining this type of information, you have to know that there is speed to your development with consistency. But we will admit that it's a challenge to do it alone. It's a challenge to do it alone because your external experience and your attention on your external experience is so strong. But you can speed up the process of being more at peace. You can speed up the process of becoming aware of your true value so that you're not offering the absence of value and having those type of experiences. You can speed up the process of aligning yourself, realigning yourself with the types of abundance that you desire because you can be experiencing abundance of lack and scarcity, or you can be experiencing an abundance of wealth in however, whatever way you define that. Because abundance is a truth, abundance is a constant. The type of abundance that you are experiencing is up to you. It is the result of your inner makeup and how you have been conditioned. You can speed up these processes. You have to understand that. But again, we love you very, very, very much. Engage with us if you are inspired, and let's speed up this process so that you can be a beacon of light. First of all, so that you can become that which you intend to be, do, and have with ease. And that as you walk through your home, through the stores, at your job, you can be that beacon of light that others have the opportunity to tune up to, whether you speak a word or not. Whether you speak a word or not. Thankful for each of you. Love you very much, and we will talk to you soon.